It's time for me to gush once again about an LP release from Lee Mendelson Film Productions. That's right, the company that brought you the LP deluxe reissues of A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown, and more, brings you the latest holiday themed release. It's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown, from 1974. This is the soundtrack to the CBS TV special featuring Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the Peanuts gang dealing with Easter time. This is part of This is a Peanuts 75th anniversary edition. If you can believe that, the whole Peanuts comic strip dates back 75 years. And these releases are amazing. If you've seen me talk about these before, you know what you're going to get right now. I love these releases. These blow my mind because they sound incredible. The packaging is gorgeous and simple and incredible. And the music is so good. Now you think Peanuts music. Oh yeah, it's the Linus and Lucy song. It's the songs from the Christmas special. It sounds like you're listening to a soundtrack. They actually don't. These sound like some of the music, yes, you're going to listen to that and you're like, oh, it's warm and cozy. It feels like I'm watching a Peanuts animated special. But some of it, you'd be like, did they just slip a song from like a Pam Grier movie in here? Or this is from like a lounge jazz album. This isn't Peanuts, is it? Or on this album, is there like a proto metal track on this? I mean, what's going on here? The music was so diverse. They're all done by Vince Guaraldi. I sometimes neglect, I think, to mention that in these reviews, but Vince Guaraldi was the genius behind all this. Him and the small group of musicians that he assembled, and as the liner notes tell us in these, and I am going to show you everything to do with this. I mean, it's right here. I'm going to show you everything in the packaging and read it all. But the what's fascinating for me is learning about Vince Guaraldi and his musical style. And each of these albums sort of tells you where he was at with his music career and life, and what kind of vibes he was into and instrumentation he was into, and how he brought that into these soundtracks. So it is the version I have here is black vinyl. There was or is or shall be, depending on when you see this, a record store day version of this that is shaped vinyl. It's shaped like a colored Easter egg with just a few tracks, sort of like a sampler on it. But this is the black vinyl version. Sometimes they'll put out colored vinyl or splatter vinyl or something like that versions for different venues. So poke around if you're looking to get something other than just the black vinyl. What I have is the black vinyl, and that's what I'm talking about. It is bio vinyl, which is very cool. Or it's what goes into the record is environmentally sound, as well as the packaging. And I'll tell you my thoughts on this, but overall, let's just go through it, and I'll sort of ramble as we go. So we have the cover, which again, the covers are very simple. It's not some kind of new thing that tries to add digital shading to make them look 3D or more contemporary. No, if you're buying this, you love it because it's a 1970s product of Peanuts, and that's what it looks like. And they always come with these little Obi strips here, and I'll tell you the highlights. This is the premiere release of this soundtrack. It's never been out before, and a lot of times too, what's great about these releases is that you are hearing the entire piece of music. Sometimes they would be edited for the show to match the action or to fade out, or they would fade up and down based on whether somebody was talking or whether there was sound effects and other things going on. This is the music as you've literally never heard it before because you're hearing the entire piece. Sometimes you hear Vince Guaraldi or somebody in the studio saying a one, a two, or talking a little bit before it starts, and you can hear the musicians like, tuning up and stuff, which is just like fly on the wall cool, and the kind of thing that you never thought would be applied to a Charlie Brown, Snoopy soundtrack anywhere. This was cut, lacquers were cut at 45 RPM for this, so it's not as much music as you would get on a full LP. It does run, it runs faster or it runs shorter, however you want to call it. It's not the same duration of running time you get out of a normal 33 and a third album, but it also means increased fidelity. And every time I play one of these, I drop the needle, and at first it's so silent because it's new vinyl, and I'm like, is the turntable on? And then it sounds so good. Like, I listened to it twice in a row, and we were listening to it together, and I kept yelling out, this sounds so good. And the quality is so good. Produced with bio-vinyl, petroleum-free PVC, sustainably forested paper, and a fully compostable PLA bag. And that's the little resealable bag that it comes in. It is the complete 19-track score, and it has a bonus that's very interesting. Woodstock medley performed by David Benoit, or Benoit, Mike Clark, and Seward McCain. These were guys who were originally played on this original soundtrack and on the original Peanuts soundtracks back in the 70s. This new track was recorded 50 years after they originated these songs. And let me tell you, it's great, and you would never know it was recorded recently if you listen to it. These guys still got it. and the way it's recorded. Sometimes something new will be put on to an older soundtrack, and it really sticks out that this is a new recording, or this kind of has a newer aural sensibility, fidelity, or style. This sounds like it could have been an outtake from the sessions. It's really cool. Liner notes by album producers Sean and Jason Mendelson. Thank you. Not that they did liner notes, but thank you for doing the liner notes. But by God, thank you for doing these things. And the thing is, I always loved Peanuts growing up as a kid. I didn't watch all the specials. Frankly, I haven't seen or I don't recall the specials from the last few of these soundtracks releases, but it scratches the nostalgic itch in me like you wouldn't believe. And it also is just good music. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell my friends. I'm like, yeah, you think a Peanut soundtrack, seriously listen to one of these things, and you're going to want to get the rest because they're so good. So liner notes by the Mendelson brothers and Guaraldi biographer Derek, and the bio vinyl thing is blocking his name. Derek Bang, who has these really cool, his stuff in these is phenomenal. And then art and things, rare photographs. And it's got, so you see all that on there. And then on the back, we see the other releases that I was blowing the names of. Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown, It Was a Short Summer, Charlie Brown, and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. All of which, dare I say, essential. If you're into the Charlie Brown thing, the Peanuts thing, or Guaraldi's music, they're absolutely essential. I would say these are available streaming. I'm a physical media guy, but I use streaming to audit things before I buy them. Listen to one of these, and if that doesn't convince you, ain't nothing I'm going to say going to change your mind. But so this has got the resealable bio plastic PVC plastic bag that slips off, and then we have the obi, Japanese style obi strip with all that information that also slips off to reveal the full cover, which is just, as Lionel Stander said at the beginning of Heart to Heart, gorgeous. So we have side A, Peppermint Patty, Easter theme reprise, Piano Sonata number 3 in C major, op number 3, 1 Allegro con brio. I'll just go full on in mispronouncing these things. Snoopy and Woodstock track 4. I think that's my favorite track on the album. That's the one that is like, that's the one that's serious. I believe it's that one where it's just like, this is seriously like fuzz guitar, badass bass. Like, this is a badass song on a Easter soundtrack for Peanuts. Linus and Lucy, every time that Guaraldi brings Linus and Lucy back on one of these, he does something different with it, and it's really interesting. Sometimes it's like, wow, it takes you a little while to realize that's what he's doing. That's fantastic. Woodstock Stream, Snoopy's Gumball, Sally and Linus, Woodstock Stream's reprise. I've been saying reprise all my life. I'm probably wrong. Marcy's Song, Kitchen Music, Linus and Lucy, reprise. I've been saying it wrong. Woodstock's Pad, Woodstock Stream's second reprise or reprise. They're going to keep putting it on here to make me say it potentially wrong. Music Box Dance, Minuet in G major, BWV on 116, and then Woodstock Stream's third reprise. That's side 1. Side B is Easter Egg Soup, Kitchen Music 2, Linus and Lucy, second reprise or reprise. Linus and Lucy, third reprise or reprise. Symphony number 7 in A major, op 92, Il 2 Allegro. For classical music fans, you now know I'm an idiot. Symphony number 7 in A major, op 92, 1 Poco Silvestro Vivace. Salting Egg / Linus and Lucy, fourth reprise. Ooh, I just noticed a typo. There's 2 I's in Linus there. Do I win a prize? Bonus is that Woodstock medley, which contains Woodstock's Wake Up, Little Birdie, that song that is known. Once I heard that, I couldn't get it out of my head for like a day. That's Vince Guaraldi vocal on that from, or whatever special that was from. Thanksgiving theme, Little Birdie reprise. And all songs composed and arranged by Vince Guaraldi, recorded January 30th and March 1st, 74 at Wally Hyder Studios in San Francisco. So it's excellent. You don't need me to read you the liner notes. And then you slip it open. And what do we have? They always put, I'm a record collector from way back. And one of the things I loved about the Paul McCartney and or Wings solo albums was that he always gave you something extra. There was always unique art on the label. There was always a poster, a bookmark, a gatefold, something like that. And that's what Lee Mendelson Film Productions does with these. So you get there a little artwork on the inner, which is kind of cool. And as I say, it's black vinyl, so it just looks shiny and black. And then you get the liners, which I'm super excited. I get the album, I put it on, and then I lay on the couch and I have the liners open in front of me and I just say, teach me, Mendelssohn's teach me. So look at this artwork. I mean, come on. And when listening to that track 4, that is exactly what I was looking at. So you get that, and then you get liners by Jason Mendelson and Derek Bang. I can't even show you all of it, it's so huge. And again, it's original animation cells and art from the episode, and they don't mess with it. It's just the art. It's the way it should be. It's that clean 70s 2D art that I do so love. And then you have Cue the Bunnies by Sean Mendelson on the back with a lot of words and always cool photos of the guys. You know, it's always neat. You get these, it's like when you see a voiceover artist or a cartoon voice or a person for the first time and you're like, so that's what they look like. Vince Guaraldi, what did you have in your head for the image of the guy who created this iconic music from these specials? And it might not have been that, but you can see what the guys who actually made the music look like. And music-wise, as I say, it sounds fantastic. It's this mix of like lounge funk and the Peanuts vibe. Some of them sound like they could be library cuts from like library albums, not in a bad way, but if you're into that whole KPM albums and stuff like that, it's got that kind of vibe sometimes. And it's just great. It's just great. I love these releases. I hope these sell well enough to warrant continuing reissue program of more and more of these, because there were a lot of specials. Already, some of these are from specials I don't remember, and it's like, wow, there were a lot more than I recall. It was really a strongly going thing for a while in the 70s with CBS and Peanuts and the Mendelson film production. So available on, it's available streaming, but seriously, I mean, you've seen this. Available on LP it's the Easter Beagle Charlie Brown.